Many people talk about how network marketing can change your life, but how do you actually really make it work? For me, it wasn't until I hit my first 1,000 euros that I realized the real power of this business. And today, I'm gonna share with you how I went from being skeptical to becoming one of the highest paid leaders in my company. With a simple 3-step concept that anyone, yes, anyone, even introverts, can use to really get started. Sometimes, it's really funny how life works, right? Isn't it? Network marketing wasn't even on my radar at very first. I wasn't one of those people who got starry-eyed at this idea. In fact, if you told me back then that I'd be one day dive headfirst into this industry, I probably would have laughed about it. It all started with a product. I wasn't a distributor, I was just a customer, a very satisfied customer. I used it for over a year and honestly, I loved it so much that I couldn't stop talking about it. Friends, family, you name it. I kept recommending it. Naturally, a few of them became customers. And when I was building my first customer base, very natural, that was also the time when the pitches started rolling in. People from the company began to nodding me, saying, hey, you are already sharing the product, you're so successful, in your high professional sports profession, now you're recommending the product, so successful, why not take it to the next level? But here's the thing, at that time, I was the national coach of the Austrian Nordic combined team. My ego? Massive. But my knowledge about network marketing, non-existing. So I brushed them off with lines like, I love the product, but this pyramid scheme stuff, that's not the right thing for me. Classic, right? It took over a year and a lot of stubbornness before I finally started seeing the bigger picture. And then came the turning point. It was at the Olympic Games 2014. And I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was sitting on my bed, reflecting on life and my future. For the very first time, I had the thought, why not network marketing? But things really started to change after the Olympics. I came home only to leave again for another 3 weeks for the Nordic tournament. And when I finally returned, it hit me. Something had to change. So here is how I transformed from skeptic to believer. First, I set aside all the opinions. I decided to stop listening to what everyone else thought about network marketing. Second, I educated myself. I was reading books, Nowadays I was even writing a book about it, but at that time I was reading every book I could find about network marketing. I was also going into scientific papers, I was watching everything I could on YouTube, and whatever you say, I consumed it all to understand what this industry was really about. And then third, I looked at the bigger picture. I saw what this business could do for me, my family, and all the people around me. And it was exactly on April 1st, 2014, when I made the leap. I bought my starter kit. I bought my starter kit and started working. And that was the day I decided to master this industry. And that's how my journey to network marketing began. Now let me ask you something. What would $1,000 mean to you right now? Maybe it's paying off a bill, saving for a dream, or just creating a little more breathing room in your budget. Imagine achieving that and knowing it's only the beginning. I'll share with you exactly how I reached this first milestone, step by step. The secret lies in 3 key moves. And for those thinking, but I don't have a big enough network or I'm not great at talking to people, don't worry. I was in the same boat. In fact, I'm gonna tell you about the game-changing perspective that transformed my business and made building connections not just possible, but enjoyable. That was awesome. That was when the business really started to take off. So stay with me, because once you understand these principles, the $1,000 milestone won't feel like a distant dream. It will just feel like a starting point. So let's talk about my early challenges. When I first started in network marketing, I thought that my biggest challenge would be finding time in my schedule or learning the ins and outs of the business. But the truth was far more personal. For 26 years, I've been traveling all around the world, with my team winning all these medals and championships. And so I knew people in countless countries. But when I finally came home and started building my own business, I realized I didn't have a solid network at home anymore. And when I realized this, it hit me just like a ton of bricks coming here to me. So how should you build a home-based business when you barely knew anyone at home? The first thing I had to do was building a new contact list. This meant enlarging my comfort zone big times. As an introvert, the idea of meeting and engaging with new people was daunting. But I kept reminding myself of one key lesson I learned early on. Build local, but think global. That's why I needed to build my network locally first. To create enough cash flow to then start building it globally. So I started small, focusing on creating a strong local organization. Then I went out. I met new people and rekindled old connections. Was it easy? No, not even close. But I understood that success in network marketing requires relationships, and relationships don't happen by accident. Another thing I knew from my past as being a professional coach, having seen so many athletes, coming into the team, leaving the team, and some of them succeeding. So what I knew was that commitment beats talent always, without any exception. And that helped me a lot when I started my network marketing business. Because let me tell you the truth. Were there moments when I wanted to give up? Yes, of course. I'd lie awake at night questioning if the effort was all worth it. But there's the thing. I'd learned from my career as an athlete and a coach that commitment beats talent every single time, as I said before. So I knew if I just stayed in the game long enough, if I refused to quit, I'd eventually succeed. And that belief kept me going. Whenever doubt crept in, I reminded myself of the long-term vision, and that vision was bigger than any temporary frustration. And another thing I had to deal with was criticism from people that were really close to me. Because as the national coach of a widely successful Austrian Nordic combined team, I was in the public eye, so to say. So when people found out that I was starting in network marketing, I heard it all. Teammates or people in the organization or friends came to me and said, "Hey, are you crazy? With your reputation? Starting in this network marketing pyramid thing stuff? Whatever?" Or they said, "Why would you lower yourself and start in this business?" You need to know, those words really hurt. They hurt in here. But deep down, I knew something they didn't. I understood the potential of this industry. And I knew they were speaking from ignorance, no experience. They'd never walked this path before. One thing I did right though was involving my family from the very beginning. I was upfront about my plans, my goals, and my vision. By cleaning the air early in the process, I gained their support. And that support became my foundation. To this day, they are proud of the success I've built in this business, and that means the world to me. Another challenge I was facing in the very beginning was that I had to adjust my mindset. The biggest adjustment wasn't dealing with criticism, it was adopting to a new kind of mindset. Coming from professional sports, I was used to a culture of excellence. You need to know that peak performance was our standard. Top athletes don't quit. They push every single day. They persevere. They make things happen. So when I saw people buy a starter kit in network marketing, making that commitment and then disappear without taking action, it didn't work for my brain. Not at all. I had no understanding for that. I couldn't wrap my head around it. It really baffled me. So how could someone invest in themselves, in their future, and then just give up? No, it clashed with everything I knew about commitment and drive and success. But over time though, I learned to understand. Not everyone comes from the same environment or mindset. People grow up with different beliefs, fears, and habits. So what I figured out was that some just need more guidance and inspiration to take the first step. And that realization taught me one of the most important lessons of all. Success in network marketing isn't just about building a business. It's about helping others build belief in themselves. And that's where the real magic happens. Now, after being quite successful in this industry, people often ask me if there was a single moment when everything clicked for me in network marketing. And you know what? There actually were. But to explain it, let me take you back to my days as a ski jumping coach. Aside from coaching, I had this unique responsibility, sewing the ski jumping suits. And it wasn't just about stitching fabric. There were rules. The seams had to be in a precise place, the material had to meet strict standards, even the suit size had to adhere exact measurements. What I learned from this process was simple but very powerful. Master the rules and create something extraordinary within the rules. And when it clicked for me, I would call it that was the green number moment. Because initially, I approached network marketing the same way. I studied my company's compensation plan like it was my Bible. I broke it down, putting every number, scenario and calculation into Excel spreadsheet. I ran the numbers up, down, sideways, trying to decode the system. Then it happened. In my sea of calculations, one number turned green. And that was the moment when it hit me. This works. I have such a strong belief in number that I just recalculated a couple of times, but when I still saw the green number at the end, I knew this is gonna work. Because suddenly I could see the path forward. I could see a system how to succeed in this industry. That one green number was more than just a figure on the screen. It was my light bulb moment. The first step towards creating a system that I believe could succeed. From that point on, I poured my energy into making this system real. Over the past 10 years, that system was growing with my business steadily, month by month. We've refined it along the way, always looking for a way to help even more people succeed, because that's the ultimate goal. So, let's get practical. Let's talk about the path to your $1,000 milestone. Now that you know my journey, let's talk about how you can create your own. Hitting that $1,000 milestone isn't about luck, as you can clearly see. I think it's about following a proven process. And here are 3 steps that help me, and they can also help you to start building real success in network marketing. Step number 1. The journey isn't always smooth. There will be hurdles, rejections, slow progress, moments of doubt. The question is, what keeps you going through all that? And it is your why. Because as Mr. Jim Rohn said, reasons comes first, answers come second. What he meant by this is if you have strong enough reasons, you will always find an answer to the challenge you're facing. Your why is your anchor, your compass when the going gets tough. So maybe it's about financial freedom, giving your family a better life. Or it could also be proving something to yourself. Whatever it is, dig deep and define it. Because when obstacles arise, and they will, I promise you, your why will give you the strength to keep pushing forward. And this brings us to step number 2. It's about leveraging the system. One of the biggest lessons I have learned is that success isn't random. It leaves clues. So your company's system isn't just a recommendation, it's a true treasure map. Work closely with your sponsor and your mentor. Tap into the tools, training and strategies available to you. Stay curious, stay coachable. You know, the system of your company exists to help you to fast track your progress and avoid unnecessary mistakes. So why spending years to figuring it out yourself, when you can learn from those who already paved the way? Think about it. You know, whenever you can learn from the experience from somebody else, you should appreciate it. And this brings us to step number 3. Take massive action and trust the process. Momentum doesn't come from waiting. It comes from taking action, from doing, from putting in all the work it takes. Because early on, you need to roll up your sleeves and get to work. Share your product, talk to people, learn from every conversation. And most importantly, trust the process. Whether you're with a small startup or a global giant, success rewards effort. The formula is simple. Persistence plus discipline is results. So, what if you're an introvert or you think you have a small network? Because if you're thinking, this sounds great, but I'm not the people person, or my network isn't big enough, I hear you. But let me tell you, you don't need a massive network to succeed. This business isn't about chasing people. In fact, chasing often drives them away. Instead, shift your focus. Listen. Truly listen to others. Understand their struggle, their goals, their needs, and then show them how your product or opportunity can help them to solve the problem. This isn't about selling. The sales are coming when you serve. It's about connecting, not just contacting. When you care about making a difference, people can sense it and they will respond. And here's the best part. You don't need everyone to say yes. You just need the right ones. So, are you ready? Then let's take everything you've learned today and put it into action to start building your own success story. And you can start with hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and share the video with everyone you think can benefit out of it. So I wish you all the best, a lot of success in network marketing. Take care, bye bye.